More sinister than a minister, preach a word against stealing and stealing this chocolate cherry with wine and sparkling perry. Terror from our cherry with the niggas with they berettas and extra shopping vendettas. Our bitches are repetitive. What they was scared of, being superior. Take out your tampons, I'ma make it bleedier. Looking for a king, y'all niggas couldn't be TV. I took home the ring, NYC MVP, universe queen. True composure, suppose. This midnight stir is making all tradition a blur. Scared of the next level. Who's trying to get bit by my spider? This what it takes to thrive. Survive on the prize, so do I. Alive, experience the magic and the vibes that I hear tonight. People dance against the rise. Right. Comrades already know what it really is. I'ma chill cause y'all know I can get long-winded. Sure, I talk shit and come off like a bird, but the real thing is I love you fucking bitches.
Land back, Black
Land
Power.
back, land back.
Check that melanin.
Black Power.
Who made my title? Y'all be making these titles too long. You do not need to put my whole resume in the title, y'all. Just put the title in the title. Let the people know what the video is. Y'all got the video saying, you know, Oh My Gazi of the Gazi Kodzo, Commander-in-Chief, the founding member since, 2019 of the Black Hammer organization, presents to you today on this Monday, which he does every day of the week, Pizzagate. Like, y'all, just cut to the chase. Cut to the chase. Anyways, land back, everybody. Welcome to the Oh My Gazi Show, brought to you every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, I'm here with my bestie in the movement, in the revolution. I don't want to get you shot, Muhammadu. My bestie for life will do that. You already know
They can try.
Shout out.
I mean, I know you know your bestie your life, Kenny.
Shout out to him. But anyways, let the people know about yourself.
Land Black Power, y'all. My name is Muhammadu. I come from the western end of the African nation, and I am the Secretary General of the Black Hammer organization, the most badass revolutionary anti-colonial organization on the face of the planet today. Also, we aim to be Black Power.
Land back, everybody. So I got 2 announcements to give y'all. First and foremost, I just want to say, Hammer City is doing amazing. It continues to grow successfully. We are at $22,000 raised. Thank you for all your support. But I do want to say that last week, Mark Zuckerberg and Google, YouTube, all of them came on me. Not like that. They try to stop me from reaching the masses of the people. And so we didn't raise no money last week, and we cannot do that, y'all. Y'all can't let it be done like that for me, for the queen, So I need people to donate to Hammer City today, okay? So if you gonna donate, put that you gonna donate, and then I will read your comments and all that stuff, all that jazz. I will read your comments and all that stuff. But make sure, please donate, y'all. It's a great project. Keep commenting, keep sharing. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube, but the shrinkage is there, girl. The shrinkage is there like a white man's penis, child. It's not going nowhere. So please make sure to share, and make sure to donate. If you donate, I would prefer if y'all donate on the GoFundMe.com website. The reason being is because I want to read y'all's comments about why you donated. And when you donate on GoFundMe, you can put, this is why I donated, right? Boom. So make sure that happens. See, my YouTube comments ain't coming through like I know they supposed to be. Ugh, I am so mad. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I think it's the title making. So Katari, if you could edit the title in mid, that would be awesome sauce beautiful. That would be awesome sauce beautiful. Because I need my YouTube comments. I need to be called nigger faggot. Like, where are my nigger faggots? Where is those comments? You know, I miss
I thought you were
them.
talking about the Ghaziites, like the YouTube, Ghazi rebels, the followers who've been there since day one. I think you're talking about.
I mean, my followers always gonna be there. I want to know where my haters at. Where my haters at? I need my haters. I miss them. They miss me. We're one. We are one. I am their nigger faggot queen, and so I need to be with them at all times. Any which way, land back, everybody. Thank you guys so much for all the support for Hammer City. It's making these white progressive liberals, conservatives, Trumpers, and Bideners. Does Biden have Bideners? Anyways, really angry. They out here, they real stressed. They're like, oh my gosh, how is Black Hammer out here talking crap about white people, even the white Jews, and they still accomplishing all of their action items and their projects? And it's just because, our ancestors are with us as African and colonized people, and that's just that, and you can't stop that. And I mean, we just keep winning, and I don't know how to keep winning. We just keep winning. I know it must be really hard for these haters to watch these haters, these white nationalists, these cave beasts, these Karens. Oh, land back, Black Power, Gerard. And they just out here, they seeing us winning, y'all. So please continue to let us win and donate. If you don't got the coin, because coronavirus is taking all our coin away, girl, share it. You know your baby daddy got that money, honey. Share it to the people that just opened up they OnlyFans. They got a lot of money to splurge. Share it to Suki with the deep throat and the fat ass. Share it to Suki. She gonna share. She gonna donate. She could probably drop the whole 500,000 that she made on her ass on OnlyFans. Praise God. But yeah, so please make sure to share and get it out there. Another update I have to give is my TikTok is doing so amazing, you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I've been uploading a video every day on my TikTok, which is Oh My Gazi on TikTok. You can also see it on the gram, but it's doing amazing. Thank you guys so much for the support. Out the gate, first week already, I had a video that got 14K views, and I was like, okay, that's real cute, thank you. And then today I woke up and I have a video with 22,000 views, and I'm just like, wow. It's just keep winning. It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
I mean, those are baby numbers for you. Come on now, we need to make it work. I remember when you had that million view video. Oh yes, and then there was that second million view video. Oh yeah, so we do the baby numbers. We gotta crunch them up.
Doing our thing, child. We doing our thing. All right, yo. Your mic is messing up again, Muhammadu. So jiggle.
Mine's.
Jiggle. Yeah, there you go. It's just sensitive. Wait, I think it's. Anyway. Talk now.
How about now? Tell me now. How about now?
Put the mic back on. It was better that way. Land back, everybody. Land back. Okay, y'all. So we're going to make it do what it do. I don't know what's going on with my lines, but we here. I do know what it is. It's the titles. Okay, so Muhammadu is here because Muhammadu is really big into Pizzagate. I don't know much about Pizzagate. You know, I'm saved and sanctified, honey. I'm just here for colonialism, to rid the white man of his abilities to oppress the masses of the world here, and go about my business and go and see Jesus. That's my action item of my life. You know, get rid of white power and then go see my Jesus. Period. Okay. So between whatever come between that, it's just here or there, honey child. But Muhammadu is very big into this Pizzagate, and I see y'all very big into Pizzagate. So we're gonna talk about this Pizzagate. Muhammadu gonna educate us. I'm going get your questions ready because I got questions. because I don't know about much about Pizzagate. I don't really do the weird searches online. I don't let them demons in my house like that. You know, I was raised by a devout Christian woman, you know, so you know we wasn't watching no scary movies in the house because you know that them jeepers and creepers will seep through the television screen. So you know I don't. But Muhammadu, I guess Muhammadu got been bathing in the blood of Jesus, so you know Muhammadu is prepared for whatever come through they screen. So we gonna ask Muhammadu questions. So Muhammadu gonna tell us about Pizzagate, and then we gonna ask our questions about Pizzagate. And let's see how this goes. If my thing gets shut down, if I die in a week because of this video, just blame this nigga for wanting to talk about Pizzagate. If I end up missing, bitch, it's the Pizzagate. Y'all already know it's the Pizzagate. It's Pizzagate. That's why I don't mess with these kind of.
You better not put that out there.
All right, go ahead, Muhammadu. I'm gonna sit here and be quiet.
Land back, y'all. Land back, y'all. Listen, we're not talking about anything new. We are talking about colonialism. We are talking about imperialism. That is all that these colonizers, settlers be doing. So that is also tied into Pizzagate. That is also tied into this whole Jeffrey Epstein pedophile island situation. So in 1492, a bunch of the Europeans came over here to Turtle Island and they began raping and pillaging and, doing the colonizing thing where they take the land, they take the lives, they take the people, they take the resources in the land. And that is a tradition that the white ruling class has carried on for centuries now, because, just like they stole our people from Africa and brought them over here and was making a ton of money, abusing our people for, profit, because they could have more Africans. So the more Africans that they had enslaved, the more money they could make themselves. And they were also just, they happen to be pedophilic as well. The white ruling class don't fall far from its root, far from its tree of, disgustingness. So, I mean, you can tell this from colonizers, founding father colonizers like Thomas Jefferson, for example, who was, abusing his enslaved victims, namely even some of his daughters. So this is something that has happened and has been happening since way back when. There's this thing that people think is real new. It's called like a spirit cooking, and it's basically a sacrifice where they eat people. That's just the lynching, y'all. That's just the lynching. Back during when they quote unquote abolished enslavement, when they reinvented slavery and had segregation and so on and so forth, when they lynched African people, they would mail out the body parts and people would ingest and eat the body parts, or people would have them on their mantelpiece and stuff. So they done had this. This has happened for centuries. It's existed. Next, so they, that's what people think about when they think, or not. That's what people think about when you think about spirit cooking. Is just think about a modern day lynching. It's something that has been going on and continues on into the present. So now we done talked about that's how they started. That's how they've been. We done talked about the middle part, how they kept it going. Now we're going to talk about how it is now. They like to talk about, or excuse me, not they. The colonial media, likes to look at people like Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. That's how you say that colonizer's name. As if they are, off marginal incidents, as if they're one-off things. When in fact, this is how the white ruling class works. This is what the white ruling class does, because sex trafficking and human trafficking is illegal under the United States Constitution. Y'all can't hear me?
It's messing up. Your mic is messing up.
You too now.
I think it overheats.
It's like coming in.
It's like real breaky. Are y'all hearing it breaky in the comments, or am I hearing it breaky? Put breaky in the comments if you hearing it breaky. Put breaky in the comments if you.
Right. Let us know.
Let us know. Thank you for touching on this subject, because I see why it's lying about it. Thank you, Carla.
Land back, Carla. Yes. Let us know if you can't hear me, though. The state be trying to stop us, and we want to know if the masses can hear us.
We need to get SG better Wi-Fi. Yeah, they say breaky. Kiana said breaky. Somebody said it's clear on YouTube.
Word.
But not on Facebook. YouTube in view. Well, no, DS said it's breaky on the YouTube. Oh, how we gonna do this? Why is it like that? Producer?
Right. Can they hear you clearly though?
Oh, they can always hear me clearly. I speak to their souls. Can y'all hear me? Take the mic off. It's a little better. Someone said Chief Gazi breaky, but can hear Chief. Oh, I'm breaky. Fuck the feds. The feds trying to shut it down.
Oh.
Don't speak at the same time. Your mics aren't echoing. Oh. The producer's saying don't speak at the same time. So you go.
Okay, word. So let me know if it's doing the breaky thing. Comment the breaky thing, because yeah, we gotta know. So as I was saying, human trafficking is a big business, big moolah, big money things, and that doesn't change just because the United States Constitution says it's not kosher, it's not cool. So that business, that big money, that didn't go away. It just went underground. That's where you have people like Jeffrey Epstein, who was a manager. He managed trafficking and pedophilia rings for the white ruling class. And that's how, there you go. That's how you get modern day sex trafficking, modern day trafficking rings that are protected by the most powerful people in the world right now, because they have, the state under their boot, under their thumb. Whatever they say to do, the state will do it for them as long as it's in their interest. And that's how you have these quote unquote secret societies, but they're not secret. We know who these people are. They're, the rich and the powerful, the white ruling class, what they want them to, give them credibility, just because that moolah is long, that money is deep. There is a lot of money to be had in child trafficking and human trafficking in general. For example, there are around, just in Africa, let me scroll down a little bit here just to my statistics correctly. Just in Africa alone, around like 200,000 people are trafficked on a yearly basis, children and adults. Similar numbers in Asia, similar numbers in Southern Americas. And we know and understand that just like back in enslavement days, it is our people who are being trafficked. So, the white ruling class and the white people want to make this big hoopla about Jeffrey Epstein, one rich colonizer who happened to be trafficking white children. But when they've been doing this since the beginning, since they got here, to our children, continue to do it after they quote unquote abolished slavery and are continuing to do it today and making billions of dollars on it, we have to call it what it is. It's colonialism, plain and simple. That is what it is at the end of the day. That is all there is to it. And I also want to say that when we call it colonialism, you have to look at some of the real instigators and advocates of this sort of process, of this pedophile base, of this rape base, of this pillaging base, of this theft base way of gaining resources and power and control over people. Because a huge part of the reason that the colonial process was funded, a lot of where the money came from originally, was from the Catholic Church. And it ain't no coincidence that that same church is going through all the ringer in terms of having to cover up millions upon dollars of, the same problems, the exact same problems. So at the end of the day, Pizzagate, Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, all these other conspiracy secret society, the Illuminati, all these other groups that you want to, that seem mystical and large, too large to understand. It is just the white ruling class. It is just rich white people and the neo-colonial sellouts who help them out. That's it. They are the pedophiles. They are the ones who sex traffic our children. They are the ones who steal the land. They are the ones who steal the people. They are the ones who steal the labor. They are the ones who steal the resources. So if you are trying to if you're trying to combat Pizzagate, if you're trying to combat, you know, the world domination by people who are only interested in making profit at the expense of everybody else, including our children, then you are interested in ending colonialism, and that is the only thing you are interested in ending. And that is my spiel on Pizzagate and why it is 100% related to the colonial question, just that it is nothing new. There ain't no conspiracy about it. It's just white rich people being white rich people. Land back, Black power.
All right, y'all. So let's talk about it. As y'all know, I ain't fucking with it. So y'all ask y'all questions in the comment section. Let's ask some questions around this whole Pizzagate thing. What are your questions? What things you want to know about? Yeah, there's a lot was said. A lot was said. So I just want to know how y'all feeling. Please write those comments. I know there's about a 5-minute lag, so I'm not gonna see no comments for 5 minutes. So type as much as you want, get in them comments, and let's have this conversation. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, Pat, you got the questions when the questions come. I heard right wingers be like globalism bad. We like, okay, crush capitalism, colonialism, making everyone work under the same system. Them, oh no, not like that. Exactly. Katari.
Period.
Why is it called Pizzagate? That's a good
It
question.
is called Pizzagate because pizza is a popular way of referring to children that one is about to abuse if one is a pedophile. So in a lot of the Hillary Clinton emails, there was a lot of suspicious references to pizza, just saying things about pizza that you wouldn't say that about pizza if that was really what you was talking about. So pizza, it's called Pizzagate because it was the breakthrough of people like being like, oh my God, look at all these people who talking about pizza, but they're not really talking about pizza. That's why it's called.
And back, great question. Black Power. Any other question? Great question.
I don't even know. Oh no, you're on mute. You're just going back and forth. I always question these wealthy whites adopting children from other countries. Facts. Facts. I mean, we should. You should always question the moves of.
Come on, y'all. I know y'all got more questions than that. Let's get up in these comments. This might be the last time I talk about this. Most likely it will be. Go ahead, Mom.
Correct, Comrade Through. Yes, they literally, like the FBI has recorded this. This is a common term used by pedophiles to talk about abusing children. Pizza is a commonly referred to term. I think there's also hot dogs. I think those are the two terms. But yes, that's what people use. Correct. Thank you, Comrade Through. Israel is tied into this controversy. Of course, Israel is tied into this controversy because Israel is a part of the white ruling class. They are a settler colonial state. Israel is responsible for murdering hundreds upon thousands of Palestinian children on a yearly basis. You know, like it's this, whether you are abusing a child sexually or murdering our children, it's the same system of colonialism. So yes, Israel is just as much a part of this. Is the Chinese government really putting Muslims into concentration camps? Deadass, y'all, from my understanding, like that's a like education system that you can opt into. Like those pictures that y'all be seeing is US propaganda. But I ain't done much investigation into that, so I can't give you 100% confirmation into what I know about it for sure. But my understanding is them niggas is not in concentration camps. We got concentration camps here, United Snakes of America, murdering indigenous children right now. Let's worry about that. Which big names are involved in the Pizzagate conspiracy? Honestly, it's really about which big names are not involved in the Pizzagate conspiracy, but everyone from Oprah, Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Elon Musk, literally any Beyonce, Jay-Z. Yes, the people Do we have any information on how the missing children at the border are linked to Pizzagate? Land back, Black Power. I don't have specific resources to give you to be like, look, here they are with the children and here they are with the, the ruling class. But we do know and understand that they have lost, quote unquote, trafficked is more like they have trafficked about 1,500 children from these ICE facilities already since, the border change happened from, oh my God, I'm sounding silly. Since Donald Trump instigated the new border rules. That might be why they came out with the whole Freddy's Pizza horror game about children getting killed. They're taking the colonial contradiction and turning it into a supernatural child's game. Land back, Black Power. You are correct, Comrade DX. There are a ton of references to this kind of system, to the way in which the white ruling class is involved in these activities in popular culture. Everywhere from movies to songs, it's all up in there. How is Oprah related to this scandal? Oprah is good friends with Harvey Weinstein. She hangs out with rapists. Oprah has been, Oprah is on the flight logs. Oprah is definitely related to this whole situation. Is the Wayfair issue related to Pizzagate? The Wayfair issue is not a confirmed case. It's a theory. It's a possibility. Yes, is there a possibility that they use that as a way to sell people that they are trafficking? 100%. Is that the only way that they use to sell people that they are trafficking? Definitely not. Is that even probably the way that they use to sell the most people? Most likely not. Land back, comrade, of course. If America wasn't the imperialistic leech it is, do you think the Chinese government would be doing the same horrific colonial American? No, I don't. I do not think so, personally, because the United States of America was founded on genocide and colonialism. And the Republic of China was founded on a revolution of the proletariat. They come from two completely different historical backgrounds and are going in two different ways. But this is not related to what we was talking about. And it seems like most of y'all questions is exhausted about the whole situation. So what's good? Colonial history of pedophilia and harm of children. Land back. Yes, this is something that has a ton of colonial history. These boarding schools in what they now call Australia, these boarding schools in Canada, these boarding schools in the United States where they send indigenous children to quote unquote take the native out of them to make them more white. That is where these kinds of abuses have occurred historically. So this is something that is intimately a part of the history of colonialism. Pedophilia and the abuse of colonized children is the base. Colonialism and rape of the land, of the people, of the culture, that is the base of this colonial system. So it's nothing new. It hasn't changed in any way. And the only thing that's gonna change it is when the colonized working class sees power for themselves. Wouldn't Oprah, like Naomi Campbell, claim they didn't know this was going on? Of course they would claim that they didn't know that this was going on. Everybody's gonna claim that they had no idea that, whenever they were with them, it's the same thing that people say when they're being accused of sexual assault, or when someone that they know is being accused of sexual assault. They tell you, I never thought of him like that. I couldn't even imagine him doing something like that. And that's because it's to protect themselves and their interest, because they have an interest in keeping quiet. And it's also to protect the system, because there is a system set up to protect these people. They know that if they keep quiet, they'll be protected. And they know if they say something, because so many people are involved who have power, that those people are going to Jeffrey Epstein them. They're going to get rid of them. I can't wait for Hammer City. Neither, Comrade DX. Get away from all these white people. These wild, wild white people. Can you go in a little on Adrenochrome? Land back, Black Power. So basically, from my understanding, Adrenochrome is like a substance, like a chemical that is extracted from a ritual sacrifice, from a human ritual sacrifice, usually from a child. And it's supposed to have life. It's supposed to extend how long you live. It's supposed to make you feel really good. It's supposed to do all these great things for you if you sacrifice a child and boil them down or some shit. It's some crazy, messed up, like that's what, yeah, it's supposed to be a kind of drug, but it's more used as a, like, it's like cocaine, but for people who want to sacrifice children, like they're cool with that. That's what my understanding of Adrenochrome is. And it's also referenced in a bunch of movies.
Okay, finally, we're off of this subject. Praise God. All right, land back. Y'all, it's just some things I don't play with, and that's just what that is. Take it up with your mama. Anyways, land back, everybody. We're gonna talk about Lebanon. Now, let me tell you about what happened with Lebanon. So when this bombing, it was a bombing. It was a bombing. I need everybody in the comments to say that Lebanon was bombed. Lebanon was bombed. Lebanon was bombed. I need everybody saying that in the comments right now, or I'm gonna log the fuck off. Because it was not no explosion. If you look at any of, first and foremost, just look at the instance. Because I don't like to look at the instant. I don't like just look at the instant. I look at history, but let's look at the instant. Everybody that recorded that bombing looked up afterwards. The camera went up in the sky after the bombing exploded, right? After the first hit exploded, right? All the cameras looked up, meaning that they saw something up in the sky. And if you can get audio from the actual videos, if you can find those, that you can hear something flying above them. It was a bombing. So before that explosion, where was Lebanon? What was going on in Lebanon, right? Lebanon was already in high contention against Israel. Lebanon and Israel were going at it because the leaders in the Lebanon government, primarily the prime minister, was connected and supporting anti-Israel, pro-Palestine groups in Lebanon, and saying things and uniting with the struggles of the Palestinian people. Lebanon was also growing an economic relationship with Iran, which would have got them in with China, because Iran is linked up with China. So, Lebanon was still struggling, this country, for like self-determination. So here you have Israel in this contention of what the hell is going on with Lebanon. It's pro-Palestine, And so, like, literally the day before or whatever, you can look this up, that Israel already was like, we will go to war with Palestine, with Lebanon. I'm sorry. Israel said that it was prepared to go to war with Lebanon, just for Lebanon supporting verbally, not financially, not militarily. They wasn't giving no arms or nothing to Palestine, but just the sheer fact that this newly formed, Lebanon trying to figure itself out, was now going up against Palestine, which was a huge thing. I mean, going up against Israel, which was a huge thing, because the actual prime minister, when he began his political career, a part of this group that was actually a military group. He was a general, a military group against the group in Lebanon that was pro-Palestine, right? And if you are in the Middle East and you're pro-Palestine, that's like the drawing line. That means that you're anti-America, anti-white power, right? So he came into power fighting these types of people. Then, now that he's in power, he's doing a whole switch over where he's actually welcoming these people, doing ties with these people and things like that. And they see that and they're like, oh, hell no, right? So this whole thing that they tried to create in Lebanon, which is like the Christians against the Muslims, that was fading away, right? The Christians and the Muslims was coming together, and they were both like, you know what, who we hate? America, bitch. So they was doing all that. Meanwhile, France was going through a huge economic decline, the sharpest their GDP dropped lower than has ever been recorded in France's history, okay? France is at an economical down spiral. And if you knew anything about it, yes, America is going through an economic down spiral, but America is going through an economic down spiral after having this this spike in the economy, right? The American economy was literally reaching historic heights right before coronavirus. So it's different when you get hit when you're high and you're going down, and it's different when you get hit when you're already low. And if you look at France's economy before coronavirus, they were already a struggling, tuggling girl. So then France was depleting, right? And the reason why this is important is because Lebanon was created by France, right? The borders of Lebanon and the naming, all that was chosen by France. There was not a Lebanese person in the room, Chad. So Lebanon was a colony created by France, and it was one of its wealthiest colonies, giving wealth to it. I want to say it's like was number 2 or number 3 in how much wealth it was giving France. Number 1, we all know, is Haiti. Haiti was the number 1 resource giver in as far as colonies to France. And so Lebanon, there's also the African countries that they have. But anyways, so Lebanon was like, girl, they fighting and all this kind of stuff. And then out of nowhere, this bomb was dropped, and it was either done by France or Israel. And then out of nowhere, the next day, the French prime minister leaves France and goes to Lebanon and has a mask on and is hugging the people and does not try to meet or anything with the government, and is speaking about, France is here to save you, da 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 da. And out of nowhere, this group comes out violently protesting, attacking the government sites and everything like that in Lebanon, demanding that France takes back Lebanon as a colony and governs Lebanon. That France takes back, this is their demand. This is not even, I'm not even making this shit up. That there's these sellouts in the streets of Lebanon who have been bought, brainwashed, and bamboozled to think that Lebanese people themselves cannot govern themselves, that they need the great white man to govern for them. You can look at this clip that CNN just posted, and the Lebanese government today has resigned, the whole government. So Lebanon right now does not have a government. They just got hit by an explosion that is, somebody said, the only thing bigger than it was Hiroshima or things or something like that, which I don't know if that's to be true, because I remember Trump dropped a bomb that was closest to the nuclear bomb. It's called the mother of all bombs on Afghanistan, which was pretty huge, but undocumented because the people around there didn't have like cell phones and shit like that. So any which way, so now the government is gone. The government that represented the actual people is gone. These people in the streets blamed all their problems on this government. Not the fact that Lebanon had all these sanctions that the U.S. put on Lebanon, right? Basically making it almost impossible for Lebanon not to be an underdeveloped country. That's why Lebanon needed help from Iran and China and these other girls out here, right? And it's trying to handle that. And then here comes the coronavirus. And then boom, this explosion happens, which takes its economy all the way down and gives the excuse to people to rise up to go up against this government. And now the government has resigned. And now, insto facto, France just got Lebanon as a colony back like that. That's really crazy, y'all. That is like Iraq-Iran war on speed, like literally speed, the drug and the time speed, like just, it's really, really wild. It's very early. I would hope that the people of Lebanon wake up and see that they're being bamboozled and fight against this French colonialism. But basically, this is something where everyone wins for white power, right? France gets to take back an old colony of theirs and steal their resources to give them a lifeline, because France was soon about to be no more. And this will be their economic lifeline, and then Israel don't got a word. Israel got now another friend in the Middle East, like they have Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Now they've got another nation in the Middle East that abides by their colonial domination and expansion of Palestine. And once they're done with Palestine, whatever other nations they want. And America is happy because Iran just lost a friend and America wants to destroy Iran, right? So this is a really sad day for self-determination, a really sad day for freedom, a really sad day for liberation, and a really sad day for the people of Lebanon. And colonized nations need to keep their eye on what is occurring right now, because France just did a tactic to get themselves out of, or give themselves a lifeboat in this coronavirus economic storm. And other white nations are looking at that tactic and seeing that, oh wow, they just went back to the 1800s on that bitch in colonization. Let's look at these other countries, right? Why are we even doing this neo-colonialism thing? Why are we doing this puppet government thing? We can just straight up do this colony shit like France is doing. Like it's the trickery is very bare, because usually what a colonizer nation in after, I would say, the 1960s would do is to find a sellout in the country, in the nation, or a group of sellouts in the country or in the nation to represent and act like the people, and then on the back end be puppets and give to the nation, right? That's what you see in Africa, right? You have all these fake ass African nations that all just represent sectors of the white ruling class, and they're looting. And you have these puppet governments in Africa, and they say, you know, oh yes, we are Ghana, yay Ghana, and yay Nigeria, and yay South Africa. And at the end of the day, they are giving to the United Kingdom, they are giving to France, they are giving to America, they are giving to, you know, Canada, they're giving to Israel. You know, it's done that way. So the people, like, all the people see is a black man being prime minister or president, but behind him in the closed doors, he's serving white power, right? This is very bare. This is pre-1800s colonialism. Literally, they just got these people in the streets, paid them, gave them weaponry, probably been training them, and knew this event was going to come with this bomb. And then the bomb came, and the people had this excuse to go out there and wrangle shit up and blame the bombing on a corrupt government, even though there's been no investigation. Nobody has laid out exactly how it occurred or what happened, but the people are all one to the fact that it was this corrupt government that caused this, right? And the whole government has got to go. Coronavirus, economic crisis, your city just got blown in half, and you are asking France to take over. Like that's their demand. That's the France take over. That's like this shit going on that's like 9/11 happened, and white people coming out and saying the United Kingdom take over America again, because we can't do this. We apparently, us Americans cannot run this country. We too ignorant, and we too corrupt, and we too dumb. But Lord, you British are just so brilliant. Please take back America. Take back America, Britain. Take it back. We need to be under you. Like, it makes no sense. And it's obviously a coup. And it's very bare. It's not even like France build us a government and then pick people to put in there. It's literally, the demand is France, take us. This is 2020. Muhammadu, what you want to say?
Zero. No, I just really want to unite. It's a coup, like bare, plain and simple. They literally dropped a huge bomb. And I wanted to talk about what you're saying. You know, it's not as big as the Moab, but my partner was showing me, like, if that had dropped on New York City, all of Lower Manhattan, all of Central Park, up until like that northern area, and then most of Brooklyn, like all the bridges, that's gone. Those people gone, and you would have felt that miles and miles and miles out. So it was a huge, huge blast, and there's no way that was accidental. That was 100% a bombing by Israel. I want to unite 100%, and just to like unite with what you were saying in terms of like, it is the most blatant trickery and the most blatant give a couple people, you know, a little bit of money to make a very little demand, like one demand, and the only demand is for France, the colonizer, to take over our country and run.
Yeah, y'all, this is crazy. But we have to do our part. We have to speak up against this. We have to give political education to the masses and inform them about what is going on. It's too early to tell if this is going to be a peaceful, seamless takeover, France takeover. The people of Lebanon are fighters. They are resistors, and I hope that that they rise up and resist. Lebanon has a lot of resources, one of them being oil. I'm so happy people are talking about this. I'm so happy people are talking about this now too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The bomb was allegedly a quarter size of Hiroshima. Yeah, y'all. Yes, and a sad day for self-determination. Very, but you know, them niggas gave up real quick, but I think some people's lives got threatened and they felt that they had to exit out the room. That's not an excuse though. When you decide to be the leader of the people, you have to stand firm. But any which way, we're gonna keep an eye on Lebanon. Again, I have an unending faith in the masses of the people, and we will see when they rise up and speak. But at the same time, I'm still waiting for my Bolivian people to rise up and speak, girl, because girl, they done took your president out like almost a year ago, girl. It's time to, girl. We have an economic crisis, girl. It's the time to hop up on them bitches. What's next on the docket? Is this like the reset button on capitalism, colonialism? Child, this is the desperate button. They hitting the desperate button. They saying, fuck it. We're not even gonna pretend anymore. Ooh, Lord. We're not even gonna pretend anymore. Land back, everybody. So I'm gonna let Muhammadu start this. Muhammadu, here.
In terms of No Name versus Beyonce, word, I love this. Okay, so first of all, on one side we have a capitalist who is, into some fishy stuff, in paying people 2 cents an hour to make your clothing line, enslaving people in Asia, basically releasing mediocre music, profiting off of the aesthetic of African rebellion and African resistance. And so we have that one person in this series of pictures. And then on the other side, we have a rapper, an artist who has really learned from and listened to the people when they criticize them. Because I remember when No Name said, my biggest mistake was performing in Israel and was, performing in a settler colonial capitalist state. And that was because she had heard what the people had told her about that state. So on the one hand, I see a sellout, and on the other hand, I see a potential revolutionary comrade. And so that's my take on No Name versus Beyonce. They are no way in the same league, in no way whatsoever. No Name is 1,000 times more talented than Beyonce could ever hope to be. And No Name is just a better revolutionary than Beyonce. No Name is the revolutionary Beyonce wants people to think she is. Land back Black Power.
Land back. So around this whole thing, I just want to say this. I understand African people that consistently in the media we are torn down. Consistently in the media we are told that we are lazy, dumb, and ugly, and that we are not valuable, and that we are the lowest forms of human beings. And this is something that we have been consistently informed and educated on and about since our conception, right? When we came out of the womb, we were given and received images of negativity about ourselves, even when you are a young tot, don't even know how to speak, but you're looking at, PBS and Disney Channel and Cartoon Network, and these messages that they give you, right? Even around like a clown having nappy hair and a big red nose and big old lips and being this doofus, right? Your brain is registering that you may not see that clown is you, but your brain understands that clown is you. Your brain sees the similarities. Your brain sees the afro, the lips, the nose, and knows it's you, right? You see when you are a kid and you're walking in the store, and the only time you see representation with you in the store is Aunt Jemima, a slave woman, or Uncle Ben, a slave man, right? And this is what's being told you. This is your mode of production is serving people, right? And anytime that you were informed about Africa, it's always these negative, horrific things, and that it's just hell on earth, and you should be glad you're not there, and all these kinds of things. So we distance ourselves from Africa. We distance ourselves from even being from Africa, the continent, Africa within our own DNA, right? This is why the number one surgery for African people around the world is a nose job, right? So we can get European noses. This is why bleach is a multi-billion-dollar industry in Africa, in the Caribbean, in the South America, Brazil, the United States. There was a shortage of bleaching in Brazil, and people went crazy almost. It was like it's all of this. It's this horrificness, right? And this is something that is consistent. Bleaching has been a booming business since the Marcus Garvey days of the 1920s. Marcus Garvey actually created the UNI newspaper because he was tired of seeing ads in the regular newspaper. The only ads that were directed towards African people were ads about straightening your hair or ads about bleaching your skin. This is from the 1920s. Well, no, it wasn't the 1920s, 19 teens, because the newspaper came out before the 1920s. But so like early 1900s, this was prevalent. So I understand. I'm a dark-skinned, nappy-headed ass man. So of course I have been afflicted with these things too. And I remember just like being a kid and not even liking like me seeing myself in the mirror because of my dark skin and my features and things like that. And I would look away and whatever and try to, forget that I saw myself in the mirror and stuff like that. So I understand. So when you have something like Beyonce and she releases, Black is King, and you see the opposite of this assault that you have been subjected to your entire life, it becomes something you cherish, right? Because it's a celebration of you. It's an elevation of you. It's something that finally is telling you that you are worthy, that where you come from still loves you. Africa still loves you. To see Beyonce as an African woman, born and raised in the United States of America, going into Africa and surrounding herself with Africanness and being one with that, right? Not being looked at as some something separate of Africa, but that she is African, right? And she is an African woman, and being so proud to be African, right? That is something different. It is different from, I'm a Michael Jackson fan, and y'all go hate me for this, but I don't care. It's different from seeing Michael Jackson. Yes, Michael Jackson had videos and music about how much he loved Africa, but at the end of the day, Michael Jackson got 53 nose jobs, and the skin went white, and the hair went straight, and the chin got pointy. So you saw this Black man becoming white in front of you, and there was all these excuses of vitiligo, whatever. At the end of the day, his vitiligo did not make him his vitiligo didn't change his nose. His vitiligo didn't make his chin pointy. His vitiligo did not make him wear them Karen wigs. No, okay? I mean, those wigs were bomb. I'm not even gonna lie, those were not Karen wigs, okay? That was my lane. But anyways, so to see that, it's hard. It's hard as a Black child growing up with young Michael Jackson's features and seeing that. So to see Beyonce be the exact opposite of that, even though she rocks blonde hair and she did get a nose job, but to see her really, but she got it a long time ago. But she ain't never showed y'all the naps. But to see her, the most famous African woman in the world, right? Maybe the most. Well, I wouldn't. I guess it'd be like her, she's more famous than I would think Oprah or Michelle Obama. I think like the most famous Black women in the world is Oprah, Michelle Obama, and Beyonce, right? But the most famous entertainer in the world being Beyonce, right? Being this African woman and going to Africa and soaking in Africanness and pushing it out into the world and saying Black is king and it's important. I'm not going to deny that celebration, a show of self-love to a people that don't know how to love themselves is not important. It's important, but it is not enough. It is not enough to feel good about yourself. It is not enough just to have this subjective emotional love with African aesthetics and African music and African even people, right? In Africa, it's not enough just to feel good about being African. It's not enough when you're a slave. It's not enough when you're colonized. It's not enough when you're oppressed. It's not enough when you're going through genocide, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to overturn that material condition because Beyonce's video, at the end of the day, cannot heal the fact that that system still treats you that way and that her video is one little raindrop in the massive ocean of negative media that is always produced and pushed down to you by white power to demoralize you and make you feel small and make you feel like nothing and make you feel that you deserve the oppression that white power puts on you, right? We need these bombs and these drones to stop, right? We need these neo-colonial leaders to be overthrown, right? We need self-determination in our hands, right? And that's what No Name is saying. No Name is saying, you guys, this is beautiful. I don't know if they said it's beautiful, but that it's not enough. And it's okay for somebody to tell you that it's not enough, right? It doesn't devalue the sense of what that does for you. It doesn't devalue the good feeling that it gave to you, but it's saying with that good feeling, produce a world that feeling is everything. That feeling is the norm. That self-love is the norm. That little Black girls won't need to cry happy tears for seeing Black is King. They would just think it's something normal, like white walls, like white paint on walls. Like that is what No Name is saying. That No Name wants to create to not just make you feel good inside, not make your heart just go pitter patter, but to change your material conditions, to make sure that African people on the continent can eat, to make sure African people on the continent aren't killed by simple diseases like malaria that shouldn't be killing nobody in 2020, that Africa is not being droned and bombed consistently, that the richest continent in the world does not have the poorest people with the shortest life expectancy. Because after that hour and a half of music, amazing, beautiful show ends of the Black is King entertainment, you've got to go back to 24/7 colonialism. And that's what No Name is saying. No Name wants to make sure that 24/7 colonialism is overturned. And, you know, you can't assume that that escapism is everything. And is Beyonce trying to overturn everything? No. Was Beyonce making Black is King to overturn everything? No. But we as Africans who are dying from this disease of colonialism have to hold Africans accountable to helping to overturn that everything. From even our mothers and fathers, our sisters, our brothers, our cousins, our friends, our non-binary siblings, our loved ones, our trans loved ones, our next door neighbors, our teachers, our principals, our doctors, our nurses, and yes, even our entertainers have to be held to a standard of thank you for that, but we got to go farther. We have to end this. I'm tired of dying. I'm tired of dying. And so that attack on No Name was really deplorable, but it's also a sign of the success of neo-colonialism, the success of the tactic of white power in blackface. Because if you listen to Beyonce and Jay-Z's music and things like that, the revolution or the struggle that they are struggling for is the fact that when Blue Ivy goes to her Ivy League, preschools and middle schools, that those white children that she goes to school with, they come from long lines of families who have wealth larger and bigger than Jeff Bezos. She goes to school with families that have been rich for hundreds of years, right? And when they see that little black girl, Blue Ivy, you and I may go, "Oh my God, Blue Ivy! Oh my God!" But those white children at Blue Ivy School is like, who is this new money nigger? Who, uh, And when Beyonce and Jay-Z go to these hoity-toity, high echelon clubs and social circles, the white people who have long generations of wealth go, "Ugh, who are these little? Oh, you're famous for shaking your ass. Okay, hi." They my family's been rich for hundreds of years, and okay, oh, you're just a billionaire. You want to show it off. You want to sing about it. That's they don't like that. That's the petty bourgeoisie upper class Negro struggle. Is that he wants to be a full blown ruling class. He wants to be a full blown bourgeoisie. He wants to be. That's why Beyonce and Jay-Z, what do they talk about? My great grandbaby's gonna be rich forever. Hell, they always talk about this whole legacy of wealthy Knowles Carters they're gonna have, for generations, because they see how this generational wealth is so respected amongst the whites. So that must be how we get that respect. You gotta go. So they're fighting for a respect that they're not even gonna get. It's a hypothetical respect that their great grandbabies are gonna get from this generational wealth, right? And that's why Jay-Z invests in the prison industrial complex, right? That's why Jay-Z invests in gentrification of Brooklyn, right? And invest in these things that directly destroy African people, because to be wealthy in America, to have, there is no billionaire or millionaire or 100,000aire in America that is not directly assaulting and looting and stealing from African and colonized people. It's just not in existence. And the higher you go up that, the more ruthless stuff you have to do, right? And that's why he's doing what he has to do. That's why Beyonce works with sweatshops and all these kind of things. Like that is it. That is it. And so their fight is not to overturn that capitalist system that rests at the oppression of everyone else. Their struggle is for them to be able to be respected, accepted, and seen as equal amongst these white looters, rapers, pillagers, pedophile billionaires and zillionaires and trillionaires, right? To be in those kinds of rooms and spaces, and they're singing of I am black and proud, black is king, I'm beautiful and African. Like that's to these white folks that be making them feel not so great. These wealthy white folks that don't take them seriously, right? It's that fight. It's that fight up there. It's that fight up there, right? And we cannot get invested or tied into that fight up there, because at the end of the day, my life doesn't change because Beyonce can get into this country club that she's been wanting to get into, or that Blue Ivy gets accepted by her little rich white friends, because my real poor working class African young girls are being kidnapped, sex trafficked, murdered, and berated, abused consistently, right? Because they are on the bottom, and are being gentrified out of their communities because of Jay-Z, right? Their fathers are being pushed into prisons because of Jay-Z. So my view and our view and our love and our kindness and our minds has to be centered in the people. And you can't get mad at No Name for pointing out a problem. You have to be mad at the problem. So I don't understand this angst against No Name. Do you want nobody to speak for the masses of the suffering people? Do you want nobody to bring them up? Do you just want to be comfortable in your American, Canadian, British bubble, right? Not living on these colonized, oppressed nations. You never had the experience of running away from a drone. Um, you never had the experience of your only water system being filthy water that is tainted because of fracking. You've never had the experience of you being a young child and leaving school to go dig up coltan in the mines, and the mines fall on you and crush your legs, right? You've never had that experience. And but the mass majority of our children have. And No Name is saying, this is who I'm speaking for, this is who I'm fighting for. It has to go beyond this celebration. Celebration isn't enough. It's important, and I'm not going to deny that it's important. And I am happy and grateful for anyone that any African that can feel self-love from anything. Shit, if you get it from cocaine, no, I'm just playing. But I'm happy that you can feel that self-love. I'm happy for an African to connect to Africa, specifically Africans that are dispersed around the world away from the mother continent. I'm happy for the Africans on the continent of Africa to love Africa, because so many of them want to leave Africa and see Africa as this ugly bad thing the same way we see it, because they get the same television stations we do, baby girl. So I just wanted to say all of those things, and I hope that sums up where I'm at in this subject. And yeah, if that's just where I'm at. I appreciate No Name and what she does, and I appreciate Black is King for what it does to African people. And I know that it is not Beyonce's what's it called? It is not Beyonce's goal, but Black is King can be and should be used by revolutionaries and organizers and activists to awaken a connection back to the land for African people. For all these Africans that want to say that y'all is Moors, y'all ain't African, or y'all is indigenous, y'all ain't African, y'all come from space, y'all ain't African, y'all come from y'all come from not Carolina, y'all come from under the sea, whatever y'all be coming up with saying you're African. You niggas that say you new African and you want to take up Georgia, Mississippi, them dumb niggas. If you want to, those people, those new Africans. I don't know what the fuck a new African is, bitch. I'm an African. I'm an old African. I'm an African. Been African for almost a million years. African. I'm that type of African nigga. Okay, first human being, bitch. That's me, girl. For all those people, hopefully this helps them reconnect with Africa, and we take them to revolution. We take them to the ultimate resolution, which is revolution. And there was another thing. Yeah, just like the Black Panther movie. The Black Panther movie was a CIA creation. It literally was written, directed, and approved by the CIA. That's not even like, it's actual factual. But you can even use their tactics against them, right? So they pushed out Black Panther, and they wish they didn't, because what did revolutionaries and organizers do? We said, hail Killmonger. We said, hail Killmonger. We pushed out Killmonger, and more niggas in the street love Killmonger. People don't even know T'Chula's name, bitch, but everybody knows Killmonger, right? So everybody, we pushed that and got people to unite with Killmonger. And the same with Black is King. Meet with the people where they at. Don't be crushing their dreams, child. They learning to love themselves. I don't ever want to crush an African loving themselves. I really don't. And I want to speak to the Hammers that we can't do that. And I think maybe that is where I would criticize No Name just a little bit. And I would just say that we have to be mindful of where people are at in their development, and the emotional needs of the people. And this is from one of the rudest, most cutthroat ass bitches in the world, me, Gazi Kodzo. I'll cuss some shit. That's fucking stuff. But I have learned, she's grown, she's 30 now. That looking good, bitch. No cracks, no cripples. No cracks, no cripples. Pussy tight, pussy wet, pussy wah. Anyway, so to take it to meet people where they're at and take it to the next level, right? Just meet people where they're at. Say, yes, it's beautiful, it's emotional, it does something for you, it does something for me. Great. Now let's get to this next step, right? And I believe, and I remember the tweet, No Name was actually saying, was literally saying that in a very clear way, actually. So I don't know if I would criticize them for being too sharp or whatever like that. I might have to reread the tweet again, but the way I read it, it was gentle. I just, I probably thought it was so sharp because the Beehive child, they make looking at Beyonce wrong. You goddamn a terrorist. You goddamn George Washington, or Thomas Jefferson out here, just one of the worst terrorists in the world, Barack Obama or something. So any which way, that's my rant. And yeah. And when the revolution comes, I don't want it off Beyonce. I want I just want Beyonce to continue entertaining us, just more in a revolutionary way. I'll rewrite her lyrics. That's all. I mean, Jay-Z can go. He's not talented. Sorry, Jay-Z is not a good rapper to me at all, at all, at all, at all. This nigga had to destroy DMX's career just to claim King of Rap. Literally froze DMX's album for 10 years, and DMX should be where what's his name is now, where Jay-Z is now. Y'all need to look that up. Same with Nas. Destroyed Nas's career. Instead of actually just letting the talent show him, he's one of the first rappers that did this behind the scenes thing, really grimy white thing of attacking careers behind the scenes to get on top rather than letting his rhymes speak for him. And because Nas beat him with Ether, everybody knows Nas dragged him with Ether. DMX, Jay-Z cannot stand in a room with no ghostwriters with DMX. It's just not happening. And so that's not talent. That's just griminess. That's a grimy ass nigga. How did we get to Jay-Z? But Beyonce can any which way. How y'all feeling in the comments? Y'all unite? Y'all disunite? You know the girl. I'm on mute. Jay-Z is. Stop muting my phone. Jay-Z is a grimy ass nigga. Any other comments, questions? I saw a question about how do we meet the masses where they're at. What do I mean with that? I mean, when I say meet the masses where they're at, I literally mean physically get your ass to meet the masses where they're at. Like physically get your ass to meet the masses where they're at. The masses are in the strip club, get to the strip club. The masses in the crack den, get to the crack den. Wherever the masses is, you better be there. That's what you got to physically meet the masses where they're at. Don't complain and tell the masses like, why y'all ain't meeting me at church? Because they not. Go where the masses at. And I mean mentally meet the masses where they're at. Don't be meeting somebody and talking about, dialectical materialism, imperialism, colonialism, capitalism, socialism, like hot pie in the sky. You got to meet the people where they at. What are you dealing with right now? Like, you should start the conversation with questions and not a spiel. So literally like, hey, how you doing today, brother? What's going on with you, sister? How you holding up with these bills, sister? How you holding up at work, my brother? How you holding up at school? What's going on? And listening to their problems, because all their problems is fucking colonialism. And then when you get there, take them where you need them to go. But you got to meet them where they're at. That's what I mean by meet them where they're at. And do not talk down to the people. Do not preach to the people. Don't hurt the people. Take them where you need to go. All right. So next subject. I might watch it now. Veronica, I haven't watched the whole thing. I've seen little clips here and there, but I did enjoy the album. I'm not going to enjoy the album. Just give me one sec. Okay, Pat, Sister Pat. But anyways, yeah. Yeah. I'm really happy for the discussion, though. I'm happy for No Name, and I appreciate No Name being out there to say what she said. That was really dope. Oh, Lord. Muhammad, go ahead.
LOL. Listen. Basically, I'll read the tweet out. All right. So, James F. Bradley. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are what happens when children are raised without God and without strong father figures. Their new song, the #WAP, which I heard accidentally, made me want to pour holy water in my ears. I feel sorry for future girls if this is their role models. And the heiress, whatever they say, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion just set the entire female gender back by 100 years. This is their disgusting and vile WAP song. Lord, if these puritanical, racist, white nationalist, white people and their sellout coons don't get the hell out of here. This is the same thing white people been saying since they came to see us. You know, like since they first realized that there was another continent outside of their dusty, cold, no agriculture possible having ass continent. Like they've been saying the same things, that we're disgusting, that we're overly sexual, not that. But meanwhile, you know, they have their whole history of abuse, rape, pillaging, theft. Like the whole policing of African women specifically, colonized women, but like African women specifically, of their bodies and the fetishizing of them, while at the same time, you know, degrading and beating down on them. Give me one second. And the degrading and the beating down on them is it really pisses me off. But at the core of it, it's colonialism and white power. That's what it has always been. And the only way to resist it is not by, you know, fighting them on the keyboard on Twitter, talking about you racist and you need, you know, racial justice, you know, sensitivity training or whatever it is. That is not going to stop them from continuing to feel this way. What is going to stop them from being able to have any sort of influence on us is us organizing to have dictatorship over our land, lives, resources, and labor. That is the only thing that matters. Convincing white people that we are pretty or convincing white people that we are good is never going to work, because even if they did think so, they were still going to enslave us. They still going to colonize us. So that's my spiel. That's how I feel about it. Laying back.
I 100% unite. First and foremost, I will never get any political education, direction, knowledge, wisdom, a tidbit, a sentence, a word, an infliction from a white woman and accept it. Never in God's be. You are the dumbest of the white people. You are the most worthless of the whites. The most annoying. And the whites know it too. All the whites. The man whites, the gay whites, the trans whites, the queer whites. None of them even fucks with you. That's why they throw your ass first. They throw your ass out there first. First and foremost, I need to talk about, you know, you said that this video set women back. I don't know how this video set anyone back, but I do know how Queen Elizabeth set back the entire continent of Africa by starting the colonization of Africa, which set African women back from the continent by turning the continent into an incubator of free labor and free loot and wealth for white power for hundreds of years, which set back African people, you know, hundreds, some even say thousands of years. So I don't know why y'all aren't dragging, you know, Queen Elizabeth the First. Also, I called out, you know, white slave owner women who raped African men, raped and was pedophiles to African children, would kill African children and African and killed land back Black power to my sister Aaliyah. Aaliyah, I gotta get you on the show to talk about Pizzagate. We gonna do a Pizzagate episode 2. Aaliyah, I need you on here. I need you on here. I need you on here, Aaliyah. Anyways, we already did the segment of Pizzagate. You missed it, but I want you back. I want Muhammadu here because Muhammad is very interested in it, and I need you to educate the people. So, anyways, y'all, back to what I was saying. You know, these white women who were slave owners, you know, where's the criticism of white women slave owners for setting African women in America back, right? Where these white slave owners were, you know, just as much as white men slave owners brutalized, raped, and pillaged African Black women, down to even what's her name? You know, Melania Trump laughing about indigenous women in cages. What's her name? Elizabeth Warren having lying and saying that she was an indigenous woman, and it was actually proven that her people killed indigenous people. So this white woman out here killing is part of killing and genociding indigenous people, and now is claiming to be an indigenous woman. What about Hillary Rodham Clinton, who stole billions of dollars from the African women of Haiti after the earthquake, and left Haiti to ruin? What about the white women in the UN that was running the UN while the Choella virus, I can't remember, Coella virus, I forget how it's pronounced, but that virus went out in Haiti and killed so many people. Hillary Rodham Clinton, who killed Gaddafi and set back Libya hundreds of years back into slavery of African people. So where's the actual criticisms of, because if you have any actual criticisms of actual women that have done and set back anyone hundreds of years, you could only rest that criticism on worthless ass white women.
The only women who have set women back hundreds of years are white women. You heard it from Gazi Kodzo first. This is what is up. Now, I want to unite fully and 100%. Like, the audacity to be part of the population of women who has literally, who has actively, who has with all their organizational power and imagination and might worked to set back billions of people, entire nations, entire cultures by hundreds of years, and then to fix your Twitter fingers, your greasy colonizer fingers, to come on Beyonce's Twitter and say that African women are setting, you know, women in general back hundreds of years by expressing their sexuality is ridiculous. It's absolutely, it's bologna sandwich. It's ridiculous.
Period. I mean, we were just doing Pizzagate and seeing how many white women were part of Pizzagate as operating Pizzagate. You know, none of these men, Epstein or any of these men, went out and recruited and stole and kidnapped girls. White women did. They all had white women go out and steal, kidnap, go into these girls' ears. So as much as y'all want to say and talk about, oh, these evil white men and these evil white men doing this is so nasty. These men are doing this to these young girls. But why y'all don't have criticisms for the legion of white women that were managing those girls and doing all of this? Because these were these women's full-time job, you know. These white men like Epstein and them, this was something that they dibbled and dabbled in, but they hired specifically white women to run the operation 24/7. And so if you really want to talk about setting anyone back, this is not the conversation. Why Ellen out here sexually harassing, racially harassing her whole goddamn staff since the early 2000s? Why are none of these white people saying Ellen has set women back? Why is two black women, two African women shaking their booties? The most family court judges are part of Pizzagate, and most are women judges.
When I tell you white women hold up white nationalism just as much, if not more than their white men counterparts, just because white men be going out there with the rifle and the sword does not mean white women didn't plan it, didn't authorize it, didn't figure out where to get the investment from it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the majority of white women voting for Donald Trump. And if they had a way to count gay votes and trans votes, I am sure that white trans people and white gay people, the mass majority, voted for Trump as well. I would not be disillusioned. So I call it white, what? I have a feeling. I call it white maternalism, period. So like, no, you, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let them now listen. I'm not a WAP fan. I am sorry. I'm gonna say it. I was actually very excited for this song coming out. Gloria Steinem, yes. Anyways, I really was excited for this song. I thought this song was about to turn my life out. This beat was about to break my spine, bitch. Like, I thought that, shit, it was going to take the National Guard to stop me from opening a club and just inviting motherfuckers and having a whole dirty dance. Like, it was going to be something, and it wasn't that. The beat was pretty simple. I didn't like the video that much. It was pretty basic for me. I understand we're in a quarantine, so not much can be done. the cameos seems like the most highest part of the video. There was a little dance sequence that was cute. I was just not one. And I'm a fan. Like, I'm a Cardi. Like, one thing about me, I love female hip hop. Like, I love female rappers. I love me some Cardi B. I love me some Megan Thee Stallion. I love me some Nicki Minaj. Okay, I love me some Little Kim. I love me some Foxy Brown. I love me some Trina. I love me some Misty. I love me some Queen. Like, back in the day, Queen Latifah. Like, all I was rocking. Like, I rock with like Black women rappers way longer than I play them on repeat more than I play like male rappers, right? L Boogie, which was Lauryn Hill back in the day. Like, sister rappers, that's my everything. That's my everything. Left Eye. Rest in peace, Left Eye. Like, listen, when it comes to like Black women rappers, that's me all the way. Cash Doll, Sweetie, all the little new Hottie Tots, the City Girls, all of them. Stiletto, Pumps, and the club. What? We rocking stilettos, ho. We rocking stilettos, ho. Y'all know nothing about no crime mob. Anyway, make sure to follow me on TikTok, y'all, where I talk about all this and do videos on all this kind of stuff. But I just wanted to say that I just was not, it didn't get me up. I'm so sorry. It didn't get me up. And also, they trying to rush a bitch. Pat got somewhere to go. Anyway, what's at the root? Unity is better than intersectionality. We're going to talk about intersectionality in a dialectical way and why intersectionality is not the move for oppressed people to get free. I know y'all are like, anyways, make sure to tune in tomorrow on our Facebook, Black Hammer Facebook Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to break it down with the facts and the science and the laying and the outers and the what we do and what we do. Thank you guys so much. Thank all you guys. Don't want to use gendered content, words, things, phrases, all y'all. Shout out to all y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure to share this video. Thank you for supporting. Keep the comments coming. And thank you so much, Muhammadu, for coming in and letting us know about the Pizzagate. Aaliyah, I'm already setting up a meeting with so we can get the rundown on what the rundown. But anyways, and we got to do a video with Aaliyah to break down Pizzagate and just how deep it go. Because I ain't commenting on it. It's above me. It's above me. Anyways, y'all, love y'all so much. And land back, Black Power.
Land back, Black Power, y'all.
Keep your hair nappy.